Right, today we're talking to Laura Hadwin. Hi, Laura.
Hello.
So firstly, where are you right now?
I'm in Victoria, British Columbia, Canada, which is on the west coast of Canada.
Okay, and what kind of teaching do you do?
So I teach at a large public post-secondary institution, community college. Right now I'm teaching English 12, which is our high school equivalent. So I teach the literature and composition components of that course. And then students can go on to take university or college classes.
Right, and so right now, what are some of the particular challenges in your teaching, your context?
Well, I haven't been back into the classroom since the pandemic began, so I'm desperate to get back into the classroom. So that's my own personal challenge. I think we're quite aware of some of the challenges teaching online. I would say engagement's a big issue, and learners also feel that they don't have as much ability to connect with their peers. And actually, I just went for a walk with my class from last term the other day. It was wonderful to finally meet them face to face, and I think they really valued that. So
Yeah, okay. And actually that leads quite nicely into the topic of your new article. So I wonder, just briefly, in a nutshell, could you tell our viewers something they'll get from your article?
I think it's an opportunity for instructors or teachers to tap into their existing knowledge. So much of what we have is implicit and tacit in teaching. And I think by reflecting actively on their experiences as learners, they can use that to inform their teaching and strengthen their teaching. It's also a chance to relax and have some time to be mindful and just take a break for a few minutes.
The main idea, it's a mindfulness, a guided relaxation and mindfulness activity, isn't it, for teachers and teacher trainers?
Yeah.
Yeah. Could you tell us a little bit more about that?
So the guided, well, first of all, there's the mindfulness meditation, relaxation component at the beginning, and that's to kind of limit our rational mind from taking over. So there's the whole relaxing the mind and then relaxing the body, and then we begin the guided visualization, and that's where the facilitator will walk the participants through a previous learning experience that they had with an educator who inspired them. And then they can reflect on what that educator did that was meaningful. And it could be in terms of, their approach to teaching, their activities, their assessments, their demeanor, all sorts of aspects that they can look at and reflect on.
Yeah, that's really interesting. Could you also see an application here for teaching English language learners?
Actually, the reason or how I was inspired to create this for educators, for trainers, for teacher trainers and for educators, was because I've done a similar activity in class, a listening activity for learners where they go through this forest, and people might be aware of this. There's all sorts of different objects that they find. They encounter a bear, they encounter a chest, and each of these objects has potential symbolic value, and then how they approach those objects and what they find, they can analyze that and see if it tells them something about themselves. So I base this activity on that activity. It's quite well known.
Interesting, and also connects as well with some of your previous work on yoga as well.
Yeah. I like, I think when I talked before about engagement as for an instructor and educator as well, as I have to be engaged, and I'm really motivated to obviously focus on things that inspire me, such as yoga or mindfulness, art. So I bring that into the classroom, and that's also what I choose to write about as well.
So you're a regular contributor to MET. What's one reason why you like writing for this publication?
I just feel that writing really consolidates my thoughts and consolidates my learning, and I want to share with other educators And I'm an avid reader of MET. There's so many inspiring and interesting articles. I've actually, contacted quite a few other contributors to talk to them about their articles. So I think it's a really great way to consolidate what I'm interested in and what I've been reading about in a more formal and structured way. And I also think writing is a creative activity. And I was actually trying to increase my creativity, and this is kind of writing for these publications is a bit more of an indirect way, and I hope one day to start writing more fiction and creative stories. I'm not quite there yet.
Right. Okay. And just one more question, just to wrap things up. You've talked about some of the things that you're really passionate about. Are there other things that are outside of teaching or other areas of teaching that really interest you?
I'm really passionate about community engagement. So I volunteer with the Victoria Literacy Connection. So really helping to reach people who are marginalized and more vulnerable members of our community. I also volunteer at the food bank here in Victoria, and I really enjoy that. It's great being out in the community, and especially because of COVID, teaching online is very isolating. So I just really like to be in the community, helping people, talking to people, and learning from people.
Great. Thank you so much, Laura. It's been lovely talking to you.
Thank you.
And we'll look forward to your future articles.